Welcome to Xtra presented by VDG Sports. I am your host, Vince Douglas Gregory. No filter. Very center. Welcome, noobs. Welcome. Stay to the end. If not, oh well, welcome. Thanks for the 1, 2, 3 seconds, however long it's going to be. I think it's time for me to go ahead and flesh out and explain the whole keeping me up thing at night. It is a jokey joke, but it's also tied into realness, and it's almost like an inside joke. So noobs, if you stick around, you'll get the inside jokes. Regs, you're going to get more meat to the bone. You're going to get more meat to the bone and more information, intel on the keeping up at night phenomenon, because it is. But before that, Regs, we back at it again. Regs, we do what we do. Regs, this seems and feels like every single day, but it ain't every single day. It just feels that way because we got this special, yes, unique, yes, bond that we share. Sharing is caring, but we don't know what to call it. We don't need words sometimes, though. We could communicate nonverbal. Shout out to my nonverbal communicating peeps. I just wanted to show you some love. I just wanted to give you a SO because it is what it is. And you didn't need that. That's for everyone else because we communicate nonverbal. My nonverbal communicating peeps. We do this nonverbal. You pick up on the clues. You pick up on every single thing. And I thank you for that. I do thank you for that. Keeping me up at night. There are a lot of things that keep me up at night. And sometimes I want to be kept up at night. Other times it just happens. And it's by happenstance that I'm up at night. Because if I'm not doing the proper things that I need to do to be able to go to sleep or go to nappy nap time on time, or the time that I deemed is on time, it's not going to happen ASAP. It takes some work. It takes some practice. And this is where the meditation and me discovering that helped a lot when it came to falling asleep at night and not letting things keep me up per se, unless I want it to be kept up. Cause being able to wind down, being able to break away from the day, break away from the afternoon, break away from all of the experiences that I had earlier on, instead of my mind running through just about any and everything, thinking of solutions, thinking of creative solutions to issues, thinking of creative solutions to problems, or just thinking creatively, period. Because at that time is one of my, if not most creative time periods is at night, because any and everything is flying up on the wall, flying through the mind. Some of it is good, some of it is not. Some of it is good, some of it is terrible. Some of it is bad. Some of it is poo, and never make it anywhere outside of that thought at night. Being able to meditate, being able to just block out and just free my mind and wind down helps me go to sleep within about 10 to 20 minutes. And if I'm not meditating, or if I'm not clearing or freeing my mind like that, there are other mechanisms. There's other methods that I use, or other things that I just do, period. Whereas me listening to the radio, me listening to a foreign radio, more precisely listening to a French station, whether it's French music or whether it's RMC Sport, or if it's me just listening to not the TV, even though the TV was my go-to in the past. It just so happened that I graduated from just having the TV on, even though I have a sleep button, a sleep function, and I can just set the time and have the TV on and just have it on loud and playing and letting it rock me to sleep. But no, I don't do that. I use the radio, and it's not necessarily songs or music. It's audio books, or it's the foreign station. It's news. Sometimes listening to just radio news. It is listening to something, and that just helps me wind down, and I'm able to fall asleep within 10 to 20 minutes if I don't want to be up, if I don't want to be kept up, if I actually need my rest. Sometimes I do want to be kept up. Sometimes I do want the creativity and the creative mindset just flow freely. And when I tire out, when I'm completely drained, then I'd fall asleep. But even when that's the case, even when that happened, there's like this fog, there's like this haze, there's like this, am I really here? Or am I really somewhere else? And depending on the last thing that I read, or the last thing that I heard, or last thing that I listened to or was able to recall, I'm more in that stage, or my mind is locked on into that. And so it gets wild. It gets wild sometimes. It definitely worth sharing, maybe sometime in the future, more in-depth details about some of the actual, I guess, dreams, nightmares, or visions, but not the visions that you think, but just being able to recall. How about that? And that's the things that keep me up at night. That's when I say, oh yeah, this is something that keeps me up at night. It is a true statement. It is true. It is not something that I'm just making up, like I have a red and purple donkey in my backyard that I feed all the time, and I call him Skipper. It's not like I'm doing that. It is actually, when I mention something keeps me up at night, it actually happens. There is a little banter with it. There is a little bit of snarkiness with it as well. My nonverbal communicating peeps can pick up on that. My regs can pick up on it sometime as well. But them noobs have no clue. They just come in all happy-go-lucky, thinking everything is direct. It's direct in a sense, but everything has a meaning. Everything has a purpose. Everything is structured a certain way because it's structured a certain way to have a certain effect, because it's been tested or it's being tested. And I know the results, or I know how I want it to end up, or I know how I want a situation to go. And if it doesn't go that way, it is failure. If it doesn't go that way, I ain't happy. If it doesn't go that way, I'm holding the L and going back to the drawing board and thinking about trying to figure out what can I do different, or what should have I done different. That's sometime in the morning, or that's sometime once again at night when I'm reviewing everything, when I'm processing everything, or when I'm trying to store everything. I definitely give myself enough time to do all of that because I enjoy it. I like it. Most of the time, when it comes to it, I let my intuition, I let my gut feeling and my awareness lead the way. Because up until let's say 2, 3, 4, 5 years, well, not 5, but up until about 3 or 4 years, I was always thinking a lot of things out and thinking every possibility, thinking of all of the conclusions or all of the variables, and you can map out and you can be almost prepared for everything until the situation happens and occur and you really aren't prepared. You're over prepared. And I've taken steps back from that. In addition to admitting that I'm a perfectionist, or I was a perfectionist, and I've doing and done everything possible to get myself out of that place and space, but also just being able to let go and just being able to allow my intuition and gut feeling make the immediate decision when needed be. And it's not that I'm just going around not thinking about anything, going around just doing things without any thought behind it. That's not how that works. And you know that's not how that works. You just want to be flippant. But don't be flippant with this, because I'm bearing my soul. I'm bearing my heart. I'm giving you some insider information here. I think a lot. And that's the problem sometimes. When you think and you think a lot, you overthink. You analyze every single thing. And when you're doing that, you don't make a choice. You don't make a decision because you're stuck. Analysis by paralysis. And you're just stuck, trapped, trying to move forward, move along, but you can't. Because you need to know every single variable. You need to know every single detail. You need to know every single thing. And if you don't, it's not perfect. It's not right. It is wrong. And you got to start over. You just got to keep. You just got to keep going. And that's what happened. And that's something, as I mentioned, that I don't do anymore. That's why I get enough information. I continuously try to get information. I continuously try to accept information and just let whatever feels right take over. Sure, I can think about something, but I'm going to go with the feeling first and then revisit the thought later and see what was true and see what the deal is or what the deal was. And that's been working for the past 3 to 4 years for me. It really has. Now, this being kept up at night, it ain't all bad. It ain't all negative. Once again, it is one of the most creative moments in my life is at night when I am reviewing, processing all of the information again, and everything is a go. Everything is good. It can be just about anything. And I'm okay with that. And that's why when I come forward, that's why when I do some of the things I do, and I was like, yeah, this keeps me up at night. It really, truly does keep me up at night, or I really do give it thought. And that thought is something that I'm bringing forward, or that situation is something that I'm placing in front of everyone, saying this is, and then just going from there. It's not necessarily a throwaway, but it is a throwaway. It's a throwaway to get you into a throwaway, but it's not truly a throwaway. It actually has meaning, and there's a method behind the madness. It spurs something, and it works for me, and it's true to who I am, and it's me being me, regardless of whether or not it is accepted, regardless of whether or not it is frowned upon, because it ain't hurt nobody. I ain't team no sleep. I ain't trying to stay up all night. I ain't trying to be angry. I ain't trying to be mad. But hey, if I'm getting 8 hours or more, it's just like I got 0. If I'm getting less than 4 hours, it's just like I got 0. But for the most part, since I've been practicing, since I've been utilizing my methods, since I've been actually winding down and having alarms set to let me know it's time to start winding down, I've been getting anywhere from 5.5 hours to about 7.5 hours, and plus or minus 5, give or take. plus or minus 5, give or take. But the median is around 6-ish hours, 7, 6-ish. So I'm good. 6-ish. I'm good. Not team no sleep. I got what I'm doing. I'm doing what I got. I'm utilizing all of the mechanisms and methods. And I'm also coming up with stuff I ain't never thought I can come up with. Period. Now, if I was to stay up all night or past those times, ooh-wee, watch out. Watch out. But it ain't worth it. It's not worth it. Not to me, that is. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Hope that it explains a lot. If not, I suggest you go back and you review and come back to this spot again. And then you'd see. And then you know. Well, there's a new and improved website, extra.vdgsports.com. That is extra.vdgsports.com. This episode is not because I'm too far behind and I'm still catching up, but for what it is or for what it's worth, I got many, many, many on the way. However, this episode is not being sponsored by VinceDouglasGregory.com. VinceDouglasGregory.com is where you can keep up with me, my whereabouts, my well-being, basically all things Vince. There's a YouTube as well. VDG Sports. Like, subscribe, share. Basically do whatever it is you do there. Comment, or not. Noobs, thank you. Regs, thank you. And you know what time it is? You know what time it is. Peace out.